Let me take it. And welcome back. And Joe, you know what? I have one last surprise of the day for you. It looks like the Polish community wrote you a little birthday card and got pretty much everyone in the room to sign it for you.
What?
There you go. And the people who did it can just wave. Yeah, there you go. There you are, Joe. I think that's about enough milking your birthday for today, but still.
No, it's not.
Look at that.
Presents.
Look at that. Isn't it pretty?
That is pretty
You get to take that home with you. That is a lot of signatures as well. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Look at that. You get a little heart down there. Nice.
I'm crying.
It's great to see how much the communities. It's like a family. Every time I go out here, I just get this really strong positive feeling. And I think with that,
that's going home with me.
We are ready to go. Yes, that's the idea. Very much. Isn't it nice?
I got a birthday cake.
Yes,
I got a giant card. Punky didn't buy me anything for my birthday, though.
Well, that's just Punky. He doesn't like
Punky.
you. Yes, that's what it is.
Didn't buy Joe a birthday present.
Nope. You're not going to get a birthday Carthus either, I'm afraid, because Carthus first ban here from SK. And guess what? Surprise ban, Urgot.
So that is now 100% of games. Still 100% of games that he's banned or picked. There's the Alistair knocked out. Exact bans I think that SK went with. Alistair was banned in game number 1 as well. We'll see then what Crs go with now. More importantly, what their setup's going to be for this second game.
Yeah, who's going to play what? That's the interesting question.
Somehow assuming that they're going to go back to playing normal, whatever that means.
Yes.
I mean, they just found something that worked really well.
Yep.
And that just opens, so many new things up. Because we have that in League of Legends, right? You have players who play jungle, AP, AD carry, but we don't really have that many, certainly I don't know any teams that adjust their positions based on their picks. Like, you have a bunch of players who can play this, and they rotate the positions all the time. Like, maybe that's something
CLGNA actually said they wanted to do this for a while. They said Hotshot will play support when needed. He's done it once that I saw, and that was in the game against CLGEU, of course, where he played the promote. No, exactly. Kale ban, that is very interesting. It almost looks like they have a specific something in mind where they don't want to face a Kale. They have not banned the Yorick against Kevin quite yet, and maybe Kale is a counter to Yorick, so maybe we'll see that Yorick now. But SK has pretty much always been first picking that Nunu. Let's see if they still want to do it. There it is. So yeah, SK are nothing if not consistent. Yes, that's not going to happen. It's not locked in. No, just relax. See, we're going to have to see if they actually lock this in. But you know what? If they do, they're going to become the team of my heart this tournament. And oh, yes, of course, Angush, really strong Akali player.
Yeah.
That is also not something you really expect. But if you're going to put Akali top, where are you going to put Teemo?
They're not going to play it.
They're not going to play Teemo.
They're not going to do it.
No, it would be, although I did see Extinct warming up on Teemo.
Extinct does have a Teemo hat on as well.
It's true as well. Yeah.
It could add some more weight to this whole theory.
The hat gives them power. That's how it works. We sell power now in the form of hat. No, we don't sell the headset before you start running in outdoors. And it looks like it's going to be something a lot more straightforward. And the Amumu and the Sona, although I'm still happy with the Amumu, don't see him that often. He's still considered a weaker pick, and I think he's not been doing too well either this tournament so far.
Yeah, I would have to ask our
smart
stat
people.
man, our smart people as they're known
actually,
in the real world.
Shout out to Rivington, my man crush, who's actually doing this. He was doing the stuff.
Rivington's doing the stats. Good job, Riv.
Well, Rivington was doing them. He's not doing them anymore. Sorry. But yeah, we have a couple of people doing stuff.
Boo, Rivington.
He did do it before, though. He did do it before. Mumu has not won a game yet. There you go. That's exactly the feeling that I had. And has only been played in 12% of games. So it's a rare pick, and it's not one that's worked yet.
12% with the amount of games that we have in the tournament must be like once.
Yeah, probably something like that once or twice, yeah. We are nearing the 20 mark.
Oh,
so, yeah.
look what they forgot to ban this time around.
The Yorick, both the Yorick and the Morgana, very strong picks. And Kevin is this kind of Yorick player who will shut down a top lane. And there's not really much you can do against the Yorick. What Kevin actually does, and I saw this a couple of times with his Yorick plays, even the second and third time he goes back, he still buys mana potions because he still spams more than that Tears of the Goddess can actually make up for. And he'll just spam non-stop. Any cooldown he has, he's going to throw at you. And I don't know if there are many champions who can actually stand up against that. We're gonna have to see what Crs pick. That looks like a normal mid lane pick there. The Orianna going to go on Extinct. Brilliant Orianna player. And we have the bot lane picked as well. It's interesting that they want to keep the top hidden still because SK have shown their hand. So it's not like they gain anything by keeping the top hidden. Unless there is yet another main game coming that I'm not quite anticipating yet. Trying to run through the scenarios.
Yeah, but you know, with the AP and the top lane already there from SK, I think they're just like, well, we can pick that now. It doesn't really matter too much to show that Orianna at this stage. What are SK going to go with? We've got Nunu, which could still be jungle Nunu. We know that Aranya is a good Nunu jungler. Yeah.
And he likes them, he definitely likes them. And that's always a very important factor. How comfortable does a player feel with a champion? Especially when you're up against the wall, like SK losing to Crs in that first game to probably the most amazing Vayne we've seen in the longest time. And they do have actually the Nunu Kog'Maw bot lane. They left it for a very, very long time to pick it. And there comes a Maokai. Actually, yeah, Maokai will have to go into the jungle, so it's not going to be the Nunu jungle. And let's see who they want to send against Yorick. Who do they want to send into the meat grinder? That's going to be top lane against Kevin's Yorick. I don't want to be Anguish for this game. Although I do want to be Anguish because then I'd be really, really good at this game, and that'd be awesome.
Then we'll be playing instead of talking.
Yes. Yes.
Not sure which is more stressful.
I don't know.
Today's not stressful at all. The Polish community. I can't believe that they made a big card and I got a cake with a candle in it. Yeah. Like, it's pretty sick. Yeah. But anyway, let's get on to the really important thing, which is this last pick for Crs. Mumu already in there, bottom lane sorted, Orianna already in there. They're racking their brains by the looks of things. Running it around to the final few seconds, and there's a overview. It's gonna be a Kali.
Interesting. Yorick is this kind of champion that will put out a lot of damage. He will harass you down, and the conventional wisdom, right? Wisdom. Yes.
Wisdom.
I just had to show my Germanness. The conventional wisdom is that you go with a burster against it, and I don't think there are many better bursters in top lane than that Akali. So I believe what Anguish is going to do, he's going to wait for his opportunity to just go in and just burst Kevin down so much that there's no way he can actually trade back on him. Gonna have to see how it works out. The Malunu, the Amumu pickup on Malunu also relatively strange, but there is a lot of CC now, a lot of AoE CC that Crs can apply.
The other thing is as well, when you're under Shroud and AK invisible, the ghouls lose track of you.
That is true as well, yes. The counter to ghouls, as Reddit likes to say, is brushes. You just walk to a brush and go, where do you go? All right, I think I'm just going to walk off.
Or you go invisible.
Yorick is undefeated, though. Though so far he's won both the games he's been in. SK played him once and M5 played him the other time. So let's see if Yorick can keep up his record here. I would like that very much, Joe, because I would very much like to go into a third game here.
I would very much like that as well. As you can see there, the two lineups on your screen. If you don't know them by now, there's no helping you, I think. Yeah. These two lineups, in some way, shape or form, been around for a very, very long time. The SK one, obviously, in particular. So, what are we going to go with this one? Do you have a prediction that you want to share with the world?
I will say that SK are going to take it unless a Mumu snowballs one of those lanes. I can't really see... Well, if he snowballs Anguish really hard, Anguish can carry this. I don't really see him snowballing mid lane because there's Morgana, who just will not be ganked. She'll just say, nope, I don't like ganks, thank you very much. And bot lane, well, a Yellow Star is going to be a little bit unsafe on the Kog'Maw with no escapes, but the snowball keeps people back really nicely. He really need to go in and land like a perfect Curse of the Sad Mummy into Crescendo to make anything happen there. Otherwise, I will give it to SK. Yellow Star has shown how incredibly strong he is on the Kog'Maw. Dark Binding doesn't find anyone there. Yellow Star is not quite going to show himself. Actually, he gets a, as Joe would like to say, ball to the face. And that is going to give Crs enough vision to know exactly what is happening here. And they will position very, very passively and carefully.
That's a lot of magic damage on Crs as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, now that you pointed out. even on Ezreal, he's probably going to be focusing on his W.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of early magic damage coming out of him as well.
Right.
Let's see if they adapt to that somehow. I mean, they kind of have already, in that they have a Morgana with a black shield. So they can shield a lot of that damage. Oftentimes you find that Morgana wants to put a shield on someone, but I don't know, 2 ADs are working on that person, then your shield isn't really going to do much good. The other thing is, people throwing out lots of spells is going to make RNA very, very happy in a teamfight, because of course the passive from Maokai, every X spells, let me actually look it up, every 5 spells that are used around him, he gets a sap, which means he will restore 7% of his max HP with his next auto attack. And that is, again, deceptively strong in a team fight where Maokai will just survive for so long. We see the golems once again contested, and it actually went to, I believe they went to SK. Cynic coming in, poking a little bit more, but it looks like Yellowstar and Nif will pick up the big golem. Not, I'm a little bit ahead of the camera here. Yeah.
Everyone at home is thinking, wow,
he must be a prophet.
Fortune teller.
Yes.
But this is a long golem fight. It's going back and forth. Poor old golem must be tired by now. But now he's coming out once again.
What are they doing? That is very, very strange. And Slapper picks it up. He steals the golem.
You're still ahead.
Yeah. Oh. Slapper picks it up. He steals the golem.
Yeah, that's better.
Let me try it again.
It's like, thanks for spoiling the surprise.
Let me try to sync myself.
So
Sorry about that.
Let's give you a rundown of the lanes and how they're going to be facing off. For SK down in the bottom, we've got Kog'Maw Nunu versus the Sona Ezreal. Middle lane, Orianna versus Morgana. Top lane of Akali versus Yorick. And of course in the jungle for Curse, we have Amumu and Maokai in the jungle for SK Gaming. So, you know, there's a reason that Kevin's Yorick has been banned out every game, and I'm wondering if that's going to come back to haunt Curse, so to speak, in this one. There is the Shroud down once again from Angush, and I'm interested. Angush is a very, very well-known player for his Akali skills. Kevin, you know, he's been forcing those Yorick bans all tournament, and we can see that he's already putting down mass amounts of pressure onto Angush earlier on. You know, Akali isn't the toughest of champions either, so Angush is going to have to be very careful of when he comes out of the Shroud and when he's in the Shroud, and you know, all that kind of stuff, balancing his CS with the damage that he's taking.
Maluno's been waiting in the wings here in mid lane for a very long time. He is now coming in. The toss actually lands, but a good black shield is going to keep Ocelot from being stunned up. So he's going to be just fine there.
Yeah, first real gank attempt that we've seen of this game. Angush actually just killing the ghouls there, like, get away. I do not like those ghouls at all. Maluno now coming up into the top, which is a weird time to do it since his lane is so pushed, but they are going to move in there anyway. Angush goes down into the Shroud. He is burning from the Ignite, so needs to be a little bit careful about that one. Did walk away and is going to be safe. Warded bottom brush as well here from SK, something we've seen pretty often from them. Actually, Maluno's going in onto Kevin. He's not messing around with those minions there to help. I think that was the idea from Maluno, that, you know, he's got plenty of minions to add to that damage on, you know, a champion that he may not necessarily at this level be able to 1v1 very quickly underneath a tower. But that's, again, no kill, still no first blood after 4.5 minutes.
Yep. Kevin is not yet at the point where he can sustain up very quickly. He definitely needs his tiers for that, for the mana pool and the mana region as well. And he definitely needs to get a little bit more AD, because of course the Hungry, as we like to call him, the Omen of Famine, scales with AD. So he's going to get a little bit more lifesteal with that as well. And just for those of you at home who didn't know it, the ghouls are called Spooky, Stinky and Hungry in order of QWE. Now you know. Bot lane, we see Slapper and Cynic pushing in very aggressively, and Slapper is indeed maxing his W, and we can see it working really well, because of course the W is the harass. You cannot, you cannot block with minions. You can still dodge it.
Yeah.
It's still, it's the more useful harass. We've only seen Ezreals go for their Q if they really want to out-trade the enemy very early. Now Maokai is actually coming in there onto Slapper. Slapper is exhausted. He changes targets to Cynic. Nif is on Cynic as well. This could well be first blood, but it is first blood for Team Curse after all, and a double kill for Slapper, who may not want to fight RNA. No, it doesn't look like he actually wants to fight him, because there is the passive, and Ocelot's coming in as well. So it's going to be a 2-for-2 exchange after all. But a double kill on the AD carry and also the first blood on the AD carry, it's not too shabby.
No, the first blood went to Nif, right?
Oh, it did go to Nif. Oh, you're right, absolutely.
Just about stole that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Before he died, though. I mean, it was actually worth it, the fact that Nif got it. Okay, it's not the best that your support player gets that first kill, but the great thing is that he got the first blood in the first place. So here we go, gank coming in onto this top lane. Can Kevin survive this one long enough? They've done some good amounts of damage, but again, not quite feeling that they're strong enough yet to really push in. And you know, this Yorick's being harassed. He's pretty confident, I'd say, Kevin, here to just sit back on the tower and farm it up. I mean, he's got the ghouls to hold the waves if he needs to. Doesn't need to go back into that tower range, and it's pretty safe.
What he actually bought the first time he went home. He went home with just boots. He bought the Magic Mantle, he bought a ward, and he bought 3 mana and 3 health potions. Now in the top lane, bot lane we see Cynic eating an Ice Blast. He is going to be fine though. Actually, Joe, I would like to eat an Ice Blast now too. That would be very, very nice.
Yeah, it is around 480,000 degrees here.
Yes, Kelvin.
In front of these lights of doom that we have above us. But luckily for the players there at the bottom, and you know, heat rises and all that kind of thing, we're at the back at the top, so that's how it's going for us.
Yep.
8.8k to 9.4, so that's the difference there from the first blood as well. Actually, Kevin here up at the top, throwing the ghouls down onto Angush, who's probably pretty sick of those ghouls by now. Sapling's coming in just to add to the misery, and I wonder if they're going to dive this one. I mean, they're both very healthy. Angush, you know, at the end of the day, is kind of squishy.
They do
problem that they have is if he puts the shroud down.
Yeah, what are they going to do exactly? Yeah. They do have the ultimate as well, but once the ultimate from Kevin is procced, that means somebody has actually died. I mean, the ghoul is not going to do that much damage. But Kevin is about 15 CS ahead of Akali, and that is a very, very nice. Maybe what he wants to do here, he doesn't primarily want to farm himself up. Of course, he wants to do that as well. I think he primarily wants to make sure Angush doesn't snowball, because Akali is one of these really snowbally champions. If things aren't going that great for her, you can ignore her. If things are going a little bit good for her, you better worry and start, you know, taking her out very, very soon.
Currently, Slepper putting some real harassment on this bottom lane. He's using his W to annoy Yellow Star as much as possible. In the grand scheme of things, actually will get hit there by the Ice Blast, but not really that much damage that comes out of it this early level. There was the ultimate used by Ezreal as well. Really wants to harass, really wants to send this Yellow Star back. Arenya's actually waiting in the brush here, so Curse may end up getting caught out. Aranya does have his is up to level 6 now as well. If only they could get Nif to level 6 so we can get in there, pop the ulti on them, and try and secure these couple of kills.
He's about half a level away from 6, so that's going to be a while.
Yeah, not quite going to manage that one. We can see that Yellow Star said, right, enough's enough. I'm going to go back, buy some stuff so that I can harass more. And Cynic tried to get in there, stop the recall, took a tower here. Okay, but still, good stuff. And what did he buy there? Cogmore is going to come back with a Berserker Greaves, double Doran's Blade he already had from a little bit earlier on. Maluna's actually camping in this top brush, and I wonder if Kevin's going to get a sniff of that one.
I don't think he is. I think he's just going to go forward and harass Angush again. Maybe he feels that something is up there.
It looks like he feels something.
He could send a ghoul in if he wanted to, but he would give his hand away. But then again, his jungler is not coming, so now he just simply goes back. And yeah, let me just point out, Cogmore bought 3 health potions when he went back. So yeah, that lane is definitely taking its toll. I mean, that is something. If you can force the enemy AD carry to spend that much money on potions, you're doing a good job.
Yellow Star, poor guy, comes back into lane. Ezreal ultimate from across the map, smashes him one, and he's like, well, okay, that was good. But in the middle, Ocelot versus Extinct being a fairly quiet lane. Obviously, Ocelot juggling this black shield, trying to get in position. Wow, Maluno is still sitting in that brush.
Wow. I'm surprised to find no tent in there and maybe like a portable cooker, you know, with a bit of beans on it. Arane is around now too, and he's going in with the twisted advance. Actually, Angush pulling him forward. Maluno jumping in. There's the curse of the submummy. Angush has to flash out just to be safe. Kevin has used his ultimate on himself, and Curse say, well, we got the ultimate out of you. Going to be going out of there, but of course SK winning there because Angush had to use a flash and used an ignite as well.
Yeah, actually Kevin used used his Ignite as well in that one.
And the ultimate, but
and
yeah,
his ultimate,
the flashes are of course the most costly thing that a champion has in this game.
This is true. And especially for Angush, who is having a little bit of pressure on this top lane.
68 to 76, so he is catching up a little bit on the CS, but that's not, you don't want an Akali that's catching up a little bit, you want an Akali that's way ahead of the enemy, exactly. And you want an Akali that's free to roam so that she can get a couple of early kills, but Kevin with his army of ghouls is never ever gonna let that happen.
No, Akali can't leave that lane, that's for sure. We're gonna find herself too far behind if she does. Yellow Star seems to be a bit of a magnet, to be quite honest with you, to Sleper's abilities at this stage. Every single one of them seeming to land.
Yep, Cynic having no problem hitting the enemy either, of course, with his auto-target spells. And there is the crescendo going across both of them. Sleper jumping in, gets exhausted immediately. Nif is the target, but Nif flashes out of the True Shot Barrage. Well done. Pink's going down on Arane, who is coming bot lane now, but I don't think he's going to be there quite in time. He is going to try to twist advance into this. Nope, he's not. That would have been silly because the tower was there, and so was Maluno. So that would have ended in tears. If you see what I did there.
See what you did there.
Very good.
Didn't laugh. Then we got Mumu coming down. They actually pinged all around Dragon here. Orianna's there as well. Bottom lane's actually pulling back. Zinnik should call this one in now and say, whoa, they just pulled back. We should do Dragon right now. This is a great time for Curse to do that Dragon. There is a ward which will alert SK to the fact that they were going to do it, and well, I guess they know better than me and decided, you know what, we're not going to do that whatsoever.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Also taking a look poke from Extinct in mid lane. In top lane we can see again still the siege going on, nothing new.
Yeah.
Still Angush just sitting at a tower, actually doing a pretty good job there, I have to say. Farming a tower 84 to 98, so he's keeping about the same difference. I think both of them are now nearing 100% conversion rate of creeps, which is of course what you want. Extinct going in against Arane, he lands the command attack, command shock, sorry, not shockwave, command dissonance combo, and chunks him down really nicely. Of course he is maxing the dissonance steady W, which does a healthy 300 damage at the moment with another 150 from attack, so that's a 450 damage combo there. Very nice for him. Let's see what he's actually building. Normally we see Orianna's going for Athene's Unholy Grail, and it doesn't look much different here.
Yeah.
The Morgana went also for the standard build, just the early Sonias, being able to get in there, and Ocelot will have to make every single one of his ultimates count in order to turn this game around for his team. Because currently, I don't know, the numbers really don't back it up, but I just get the feeling that Curse generally, except for top lane, are doing pretty well, and the Yorick itself isn't going to win the game. I mean, yes, Angush isn't going to carry either, but yeah, Extinct is doing well, and bot lane is doing really, really well as well.
Oh, here we go. They're going to dive in there. Orianna ulti comes in. Ezreal ulti was there, and they are disintegrated on the spot. Not a problem. Great coordination there, and it was just a case of Orianna came down and they made it happen all together. Angush actually gets hit there with the Dark Binding. Ocelot having to get that Dark Shield, Black Shield, sorry. Dark Shield, Dark Binding.
No,
you know,
black is dark, so that's fine.
But if you look there, we can see the gold. Let's have a look at the difference. Ocelot 4,100 compared to the 4,800, which is going to be in more, by the way, now, because they're doing Dragon for the Orianna. For Ezreal, oh, Ocelot walking in there, and that shield is not going to last him too long. Maluno actually dropping very low, will go down. Zhonya's hourglass is there. Ocelot will flash. Sleper completely predicting that one, but they may just have saved Ocelot from this one. He's got the kill. I thought, well, Ocelot getting caught out of position, not what you really want, but he gets the kill at the end of it and manages to somehow escape, thanks to Maokai's brilliant CC as well, nonetheless.
But also the way he played the Zhonyas in the flash could not have been better. He waited to make sure he got the right people in his ultimate. He put the Dark Soil, the Tormented Soil down under his feet, knowing that Maluno wanted to stick around for that Curse of the Sad Mummy, and Maluno ended up dying just before Ocelot came out of the Zhonyas, and he immediately flashed away. And as you said, Maokai was there. Angush getting almost dived on by Kevin there, who has his Manamune ready. Angush is building it. By the looks of it, it's going to be a Trinity Force on Akali. I'm not entirely sure. You normally see the early Hextech Gunblade, but I say normally. Joe, when have you last seen an Akali in competitive play?
Can't tell you.
Yeah,
Can't tell
exactly
you the last
same
time.
For me. So
I've seen more Twitch than ever Akali recently, so there you go.
It's true. Oh, and I can't wait for Gamescom, and we are going to play on the patch level with the remade Twitch, Evelyn and Xin Zhao. That could be very, very interesting indeed.
I hope people have been practicing it, so we see that. Here we go down on bottom. I feel that Slepper could probably get a kill here. Obviously, Nif just comes in towards him, gives him the ice blast to the face, but again, the abilities from Slepper hitting the mark where needed. And there we go. Finally, Kevin has dropped this top lane, and that's why everyone's banned Yorick out against SK so far, because Kevin is just such a relentless lane, that top lane. It's like you don't catch a break ever. Here we see the bandage toss going in on towards Kevin. He's managed to catch them just about in the ulti. Angush diving in there as well. Are they going to be able to escape from this one? Seems doubtful to me. At least one of them goes down. There goes the bandage toss. Hello Extinct as well is there, and that is the double kill that Akali was looking for in this top lane. Yeah, I was talking about relentless pushing. That's something that needed to happen there against this Yorick.
Oh, yellow
Ezreal ulti.
Yeah, Ezreal almost stealing the red buff there. Hits both Nif and Yellow Star as well. You're absolutely right. They knew how to punish that top lane, constantly pushing. And that's the first 2 kills on Angush, and that is exactly the path he needs to be off on. That path towards Snowball will. No, I'm not gonna say any words with V's in them today anymore. It's not my day, Joe. It's your day, clearly. But yeah, that's what we've been saying about Akali. She needs to take off, and that is exactly the kind of thing she needs. She's at 1,200 gold right now. She is gonna go back home. And actually, we see a crescendo. But a black shield, really well done. And Cynic is not long for this world. Dark Binding, perfectly executed. Bam. Kill actually picked up by Nif. That kill stealer. Actually, we joke about this, but in this case, I think it would have been really better for Nif to leave the kill to Yellow Star or even Ocelot. And I don't think that Cynic was going anywhere.
No. I don't think he was getting out of that one, was he? I mean, the Dark Binding landed.
Yep.
They could have done that. Yeah, not optimal, but we say it all the time. Kill's a kill. Still at the end of the day, but in the right hands, a kill can be just that little bit more.
Yep.
Let's say. So Slepper back in lane. What's he got on him now? Trinity Force done.
Nice.
Sacrificed the boots for it. Actually, still on the tier 1 boots. But nonetheless got the Trinity Force. Top lane Angush now does have the Zeal plus that Phage from earlier. Got a bit of AP from the Amp Tone and is actually going to flash away. The heavy CC is coming in. There we see the kill. 1v1 as Ocelot goes down and Angush is going to drop here as well. That's, the kills going back and forth. It's a 3k gold lead for Curse. Obviously, in terms of the global objectives, they're doing better here. Still 1 turret for 1, the bottom and the top turret down for either side. But that dragon is making a difference here in the grand scheme of things as well.
And as you mentioned, the early pickup, the early Trinity Force on Slepper is just so important. Of course, we have the Sonya's Hourglass on Morgana as well, but Kog'Maw has not finished a big item. He is going for the Phantom Lancer first. You can see he does decent damage there to Cynic. They actually took the inner top turret while this was happening. And that is actually the mid turret fell as well. So lots of turrets getting exchanged. Cynic and Slepper are still pushing down the bot lane though, while Extinct and Malunu were knocking on the mid lane. So as SK have just left to defend that mid lane, Slepper and Cynic may just step forward and take this turret. Yep, and that's exactly what they're gonna do. Let's see if SK want to run back. It's the worst feeling in the world, Joe.
They've lost it totally.
Yeah, exactly. If you just ran somewhere to defend and then the place you just left gets attacked again and another turret going down.
Yep, and that's going to hinder things when it comes to this bottom side of the jungle, a red buff in particular, obviously, plus the golems.
Yep.
Curse slowly but surely getting themselves into that nice lead, and I think from Ocelot's point of view, a little bit unnerving that 1v1 against Extinct was so one-sided. That's with Zhonya's Hourglass being used as well in the mix of it.
Wow, Angush did get the jump across there, but the portal home out of Kevin came in just in time, so Angush arrived at nothingness. A very zen thing to do. And actually, let me see when next dragon is. Next dragon is going to be 2038, so in about 10 seconds from now. Curse are in position. Yorick isn't quite in position. Aaron needs to be careful not to take too much poke before this fight begins, or God forbid die, because he has the smite. So he's very important. Dark fighting doesn't find anyone right now. Anguish wants to shine in this fight. He wants to go all out in this fight. Hasn't quite finished his 24th yet, but he is still going to be super, super scary if he gets a good angle on anyone. I'm pretty sure he wants to go in and make something happen. Now all of SK are there, Joe, and this could be the fight that sets the tone for the rest of the game.
And they are looking for that single misstep of the other team to take the advantage. And there we go, look how fast Dragon is going to be dropped, and SK are saying, well, you know, you take Dragon, we're going to push for this outer turret. There goes the Dark Branding straight through the middle of the team, and to me this looks like Crs are going to want to do it, and they are going to push straight in there. There's the Amumu ulti, followed by the Orianna ulti, followed by the Sonar ultimate, and they have done a lot of damage with this one. But SK, they're still fighting on through it. They are pretty healthy actually from this. They've already got the 2 kills, and it's just not quite worked out the way that Crs were wanting it. Slepper's low. Kevin, will he go down? He's burning from the Ignite. Zinnek will be picked off there. Slepper is pushing in. The kill did actually go over to Extinct, and that's a 3-for-1. And that fight, I don't know, it looked a lot better than it actually came out in the end to me. Like, the start of it, Amumu ulti goes in there, Sonar ultimate, Orianna ultimate. Actually, Aranya and Slepper are exchanging here as well. Slepper's like, I need some lifesteal. There's a kill for Orianna. Finish with the auto attack. But yeah, as I was saying, you know, Amumu ultimate, pulled into the middle, and then crescendo.
The things that happened there were...
And then they just were still alive with lots of health still.
Well, Morgana had her ultimate ticking. She didn't get any procs off, but she still had a lot, did a lot of damage.
Yeah.
The Nunu ultimate fully channeled as well. Nobody challenged that. And the most important thing, early in the fight, Kevin actually ghosted Yellowstar, so both Kog'Maws were constantly putting out damage, and that is just so much damage, and that is another reason why that Yorick is banned so often. If you have a hyper carry in your team, like a Vayne or a Kog'Maw,
you've got 2 hyper carries in
exactly,
your team.
That's about 100% better than 1 hyper carry in your team. About.
And SK, look at this, they're going in for that Baron. Crs need to react to this one. Mummy is down on that bottom lane, slowly working in. Orianna's back on the fountain, and the Baron is now down to 4.5k health. Thanks very much, Ezreal, for the extra help there. Anguish has gone in. Anguish is completely destroyed from that position, and the Baron now down to just 2k. Can they get in for the steal? Slepper tries for it, doesn't pull up with it, and SK now going to go on the offensive with this Baron buff on. It's Maokai that actually dives in. Slepper did jump over the wall just in time from that one. And SK taking a Baron of opportunity there. That is their chance now to get back into this game.
That's exactly how they won their game against CLG.eu as well. They had the first game, I mean, they had an advantage already, but they just brought it home with a second blue steal and a quick Baron steal. So the calls actually coming out of SK, I could hear them. The 2 loudest shot callers are actually now Ocelot and RNA, and they were both just screaming Baron, Baron, Baron. Actually, the way it happened exactly was Ocelot saying Cammy Baron, and RNA just picking it up from there and just screaming Baron, Baron, Baron. And Ocelot, gets nicely chunked here. There's the shockwave as well, and he is going to drop now with 1 more auto attack, and Sonya is just in time.
Nice.
But Malunu is there, misses his toss, doesn't matter. He has Curse of the Sad Mummy. Kevin is now going to have to run out of there, and it's called a shockwave, Daniel, not a shockwave.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Malunu bandage tossing the Zonya's. Didn't quite time that one to perfection.
Not quite, but still he was there, and they picked up the kill. So that is 1 person less with a Baron on them.
Yeah,
that's so good.
You know, and it's the AP carry. That's something that they need to take out of the game. Is going to hurt a little bit less the next time they end up facing him. And that's something that SK can't really afford now. You know, they're technically behind in this game, even with that Baron that they've just picked up. And to be losing these opportunistic kills left, right and centre is not something I think that they can afford right now. Yellowstar actually is pushing down onto this lower altitude. I'm not sure that they're going to get around to defend any time between now and when it's taken down. Obviously, Yellowstar with that Blood Boil on does have a Zeal. Not quite finished his Infinity Edge, but one of that extra attack speed that the Zeal has to offer as well, on top of.
Anguish is at 164 CS to Yorick's 171, so he did make it out of the laning phase all right. He's also got roughly the same amount of kills and assists, 1 assist less. So he didn't do too badly. Let's just see if he can actually survive through the fight. During the Baron fight, he just went in there very aggressively. I think Arane had an Oracles at the time. And of course, Oracles is the ultimate counter to an Akali, and you have an Oracles anyway, because that's the current metagame. If you're ahead, you buy an Oracles. Anguish using the Shroud to create a little bit of distance there. Should be okay. Extinct and Malunu did a very nice thing there again. I've talked about it a couple of times this tournament. Orianna likes champions to carry her ball in, and that's exactly what Amumu can do. So she shields Amumu, Amumu bandage tosses in, and then she shockwaves. We saw that before. They may want to go for that again. Oh, Slapper actually in a bit of an awkward position there, but SK don't really want to go in on that. He takes a lot of damage there from Yellow Star. Oh god, that is the chunkage happening, Joe. Yeah, Slapper is almost like he's certainly going to have to go back home and heal right now.
Yeah, Slipper, you can't stand with the with that with that Cogmore, with the Blood Boil on, with a Zeal plus Doran's, plus Doran's Blade, plus the BF Sword, plus the pickaxe as well. And now SK looking to take down another turret. You can see there's just no stopping these Cogmores. That's the reason why this Nunu Cogmore combination has been highly sought after throughout this tournament and the previous ones as well.
And the Yorick on top of that. That's just. It's so very strong. Oh, just barely missing it. And actually, the flash bandage just coming. The ball is on top of him, but he doesn't actually hit anyone with the curse of the seven. Anguish is going in as well. He's jumping. He is exhausted. He has to flash across. But a perfect shockwave into Crescendo. Really well done. Also, is going to drop before his ultimate can double block. And there's a double kill out of Akali. Anguish not doing too badly for himself. A 2-for-0 exchange at this point. And that is going to be one turret. 2 turrets for sure, maybe even an inhibitor if Curse want to push this down.
See, the thing is, Extinct has destroyed Ocelot in lane. If you look at the CS, 262 to 212, it's been a big lead for quite a while in that one. And you can see the damage that Extinct puts out. Obviously, it is just more raw damage compared to that Morgana anyway, but you know, we got the sign of that after, I guess it was 15 minutes when they ended up 1v1ing somehow. I'm not sure how they even ended up getting into that fight, but Orianna is the game changer right now. 5-0-4 with the Unholy Grail, finished with the Abyssal Scepter, got Blasting One in there as well, so you know, strong stuff, strong times actually for Orianna.
Morgana does have more AP at the moment. She has 404 to 284, so she has about 120 AP more because she just built straight AP. But the magic resist reduction from the Abyssal Scepter and of course the cooldown reduction from the Unholy Grail, all of that is helping an awful lot. And that shockwave you just saw, if you have a shockwave followed up with a crescendo like that, that is exactly the combo they were looking for. And they put the ball a couple of times into Maluno. In the end, she just put it in with an attack and said, you know what, I'm just going to position myself. And it just worked so really well. And strangely enough, SK are attacking again, even after losing those couple of fights. They need to be very careful with these bandage tosses. Maluno has been playing the Mumu really well. He must have been practicing again a little bit recently, because Mumu is kind of... He was about to make a comeback and then it didn't quite happen. Not entirely sure what happened there. But he is showing that he can be a strong pick in a comp that's built around the AoE.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the AoE stun that they have in this team is pretty insane there, with the Mumu going in with the crescendo, with the shockwave. Pretty amazing stuff, actually. And then you've got Anguish, who, while they all can't move, is just dancing from one to the other, pumping out that damage onto them, and that's, you know, what we've been seeing so far. The question is 4k gold, almost exactly, or is exactly that. 12 to 9, 5-5 in turrets. This is by no means, for me, a sealed deal at this stage.
No, absolutely not. It is still open in any direction. Remember that people like Anguish could get caught out. He has built a lot of life. And, oh, actually, Yellow Star is found there, and the flash from Yellow Star, the cleanse flash, just getting out of the crescendo in time. That would have been very, very bad for Curse. Yellow Star tries to snipe it, the red buff, but didn't quite manage to get the timing right there. Maluno, I'll just have to say it again, those bandage tosses are just looking brilliant. He is making that sad mummy look very, very scary once again.
And now they're pushing force onto this bottom lane. The inhibitor turret is still full HP, but the entirety of this Curse team is starting to work their way in there. The problem is, yeah, oh, look at that damage there coming out. Kog'Maw chasing maybe 1 or 2 steps a little bit further than he should have stepped out there. Angush is now coming down from the backside, actually, and they may look for a fight from this one. There's the Shurelya's actually going to be popped. Are they going to dive in for the kill? I'm not sure that it's the wisest thing, especially with Slepper there on decently low HP. It's only going to take 3 or 4 hits from Yellow Star to actually kill him at that health.
I think what they were waiting for SK to step forward and stop them from poking the turret, and then they would have jumped on somebody with a Curse of the Step Mummy. SK wisely choosing to stay behind the turret until they really had to step out to clear some waves. But you know what? Round 2, we're going back for it. Angush is coming in again. And now actually SK are pushing out of the turret, out of their base. Look at Slepper, he's full health again. Actually, Angush has to flash away there from Arane, but as they are chasing Angush just a little bit too much, Curse are going in again and they might get the turret this time around. No, not quite. Dark Binding doesn't find anyone either. So, oh, the shockwave just hits Kevin. That's not exactly what you want to have. But a great flash hit from Ocelot. His ultimate actually in a very good position right now. Nif channeling his ultimate as well. And there is the kill onto Ezreal. Very important. Yellow Star is also alive still, I think, unless that's his ghost. Yep, he is still alive. He managed to survive that. Everybody from SK survived, and 3 members of Curse died. And that is just the risk when you are sieging like this in a split position like that. SK found an opening, just the tiniest of openings, forced their way in there, and now pings are going down on Baron Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 5v4, number 1, in that position. And then the Orianna ulti, not quite what it needed to be, sadly enough for Curse, but it's not over just yet. But SK are going to be taking this Baron already down to below 3k health.
Yeah, that's of course
going to be another Baron for SK. And look at this, Angush is actually still pushing this bottom turret, and he's going to take it down as well.
Oh, nicely done there. Of course, Ocelot can't stop him all by himself. Looks like Angush is building for a Crystal Scepter next. So the health there, definitely a good idea to stay alive a little bit longer. And Akali is always very, very scary if she just has a little bit of attack stats, because her passive scales with both of them, with both AD and AP. And she just becomes really, really scary. Of course, the AP giving her additional magic damage on attacks, and the AD giving her additional spell vamp too. So very, very hard to kill and very painful unless you just focus her right away.
Well, Curse still technically have a gold lead in this game, albeit less than 1,000 by now. It's pretty insanely close after 33 minutes.
Yeah.
And we are going to see them go home to shop. Not that much money, actually, with Curse now. We'll probably want to be starting to defend as much as they possibly can, with SK having this Baron buff running.
The problem that Curse have is if they stall this out much longer, they're not going to have 1 super late game Kog'Maw to worry about, but 2 of them, thanks to Yorick. And I don't really know if they have an answer for that. Their answer would traditionally be, yeah, Akali is going to jump in, or maybe Maluno is going to get a good bandage toss, but I don't really see that happening. And now suddenly the tables are turned and SK are pushing down Curse's base. And Curse don't really look like they fancy a fight right now.
And they think right, actually.
It's
not a good idea.
Of course,
yeah. Say Baron up teaming. Yellow Star also is double buffed, by the way.
Yeah.
Which just makes him ridiculously strong. Infinity Head, Phantom Dancer, got a bit of armor in there as well by now. Because they have to run down this Baron time. It's that simple, really. They are going to be losing a lot of their jungle. You can see that actually as a 5 pushing out.
Did they Shurelias? I thought I saw something. No, it was probably just the E from Sona.
Yeah.
The aura of moving really fast. No, what's it called?
The aura of Amu's feet move unnaturally fast.
Yes.
He's also a mummy as well, so.
He looks very cute though, so it's alright.
Yeah, and this inhibitor is there. They're going to go straight in for it. I was going to say, I'm not sure that they want to be sticking around too long. That was more of a opportunistic kind of thinking there from SK. Sorry, from Curse. Obviously, didn't quite work out for them. And Curse are... Yeah, SK just pinged like exactly what I think that Curse are going to do as well, which is they're there, let's meet them there. Which was they're over by Baron, let's meet them on that inhibitor turret.
Yeah, and if they take too long to actually portal back, SK can take this inhibitor very quickly. And Sona was very late coming back. She is just a support, but she does have a very large part of the AoE comp, the AoE stun comp that Crs are running, so they don't want to go in without Sona. And there she is now playing her song about celery or something like that that makes her walk faster. It's probably celerity. The siege will continue at least as long as Baron buff is still up on SK, and look at how quickly they're chunking down this turret. Maluno has the ball on top of him and didn't quite land the bandage shots. It takes a lot of damage, but there is the crescendo going down, the Ezreal ultimate going through everything. There's the curse of the Sapmami as well, but just flashing out of that shockwave the last second was Kog'Maw. Still, it is looking pretty good right now for SK. I had to stop myself there for a second. Kevin in the middle of the base. It's a 3-for-nothing exchange. Actually, Yellowstar, I think, did die. That's just his ghost we're seeing right now. There is Yellowstar actually finally dead now, going through two different zombie stages. But that's still a 3-for-1 exchange and an inhib. Yep. And possibly a second inhib as well. Looking really good for SK and for a third game.
Yeah, Xinct actually getting caught there in the dark bind, and he's going to get the ball off, but they've already lost that second and top inhibitor turret. Inhibitor may well just go down as well. Kevin and Ocelot are both focusing in on that one, and it will go down. But this is the kind of game where if SK put 1 foot out of place, Crs are going to turn things around and get straight back into. We can see that the minions are actually pushing straight through now in towards that inhibitor as well.
Yep, and that means Crs are going to be bound to the base for a while. Actually, RNA cleaning up his own inhib down there. It is still a very, very close game, Joe. The numbers at least would suggest so, but like we said, currently Kog'Maw is sitting on Phantom Dancer Infinity Edge. He does have a Vampiric Scepter as well, and a little bit of M5 in this game. There's a Guardian Angel. I really, really like that as well. There's so many ways to bring Kog'Maw back into life. On the other hand, the Ezreal does have his own little trinity of items finished, the Trinity Force, Bloodthirster and Last Whisper. So he is going to do pretty much peak damage at this point. We see an item on Sona that we don't usually see that often, the Soul Shroud. The cooldown reductions, of course, going to be so great for Orianna. Going to push her probably very, very close to 40% CDI. And of course, we saw Dragon picked up by SK there, who are now working with about a 2k gold lead. Slapper needs to be careful not to path through his own forest there. And SK have destroyed the upper and middle inhib and are now working on bot lane. And this is the choke grip that you use to finish a game. 2 of your inhibs are down. We are working on the third. If you just sieges out, we'll wait, because eventually super minions are going to cause lots and lots of trouble for you.
Yeah, it's not like you can just stand there and defend the one entrance when the other 2 is being pushed down by those super minions. I got the feeling that Crs are, going to take some kind of what looks like a close fight from their point of view and just go all out onto it.
Yeah.
See if they can pull off anything spectacular from that one. Baron buff has now ran out, actually.
Yep, actually.
I think one more Baron and an SK,
I just saw something. Yellowstar with the Seek's Herald and Blood Boil at 2.4 attack speed. That's 0.1 away from max. That is not good. And that's going to be 5.0, because there's going to be 2 of him once again. The spells, of course, the spells on the Ghost aren't going to be usable, but that really doesn't matter, because the W is going to proc off of the Ghost attacks as well. That's just so much shred, it's insane. SK are going to take the next Baron, because Crs are currently stuck in their base. Baron is going to be up at 39-18, so right now, there it is, and they're working away on it. And once again, nothing that Crs can do to stop this from happening. And oh, look at how quickly it drops. That's just Yellowstar insane damage.
Yep, and now Crs are actually coming in there. They're going to be spotted. Dark Binding actually flashed away, and Shirelli has popped the speed boost all over the place coming in here for Crs. Whoa, get away, get back, get back, get back. We cannot fight this one right now. And if you put Slepper in a 1 versus 1 fight against Yellowstar, it wouldn't be pretty, the result for him.
Yep. There is no dodging those attacks from Kog'Maw, of course, unless you leave attack range. And now SK with Baron map, with the 2 other lanes pushing, is going to leisurely take that inhib third, unless of course Crs want to go for one last fight here. The bandage does not quite hitting, but a flash in, perfectly done. The shockwave hits as well. The Astral ultimate comes across as well. Arane is dropping very, very low. Meluno gets the second proc actually on top of him. The first kill is going to be Meluno, second kill is going to be Anguish. And Cynic down as well. No one has died from Team SK. And Joe, I'm going to say you're going to get a third game for your birthday. That's what you get.
Oh, that's a push in again from Yellow Star. And I'm glad that you've finally predicted at this point that there is going to be a third and final game. But that's another great performance from SK. You know, first game was a bit of a freakish thing with that Vayne in there, Annie in middle. No one really knew what was going on, I think. On the SK team, we saw Arani and Ocelot having words with each other. Probably Spanish words, which you know, I could never ever translate for you anyway, even if I heard what they were saying. But this time around, SK looked solid. Crs looked solid as well. But there was that first Baron that SK took opportunistically, and then the one afterwards.
And the smile on Yellow Star's face just tells the whole story. Yeah, that was definitely a protect the Cog comp. And I would not be surprised to see Cogmore banned next game. Yellow Star just such a beast tonight. I mean, his Corgi wasn't bad, but his Corgi just wasn't as beastly as we can see the players actually SK leaving.
The thing is though, right?
Yeah.
You can deal with a Cogmore. Like, you can get in there with a triple stun team. If you do things right, you can get in there and you can stop him. What you can't really stop is when he's a ghost.
Yeah, because
you've got Yorick in there. So, you know, this whole Yorick ban, I think, needs to happen once again. We've seen it in, I think, almost every game against SK up until now, and there's a reason why it's been that way. That's because Kevin's pretty damn strong with that Yorick.
He didn't entirely shut down the lane, but he definitely got his way. He ended up 6-3-7, I can see over there on your screen, which is a pretty good score for a top laner.
They pushed it completely as well. I mean, they, I think, even took the inner turret. That was like the first inner turret on that top lane to actually be falling as well. So, you know, strong performance from Kevin. Maybe Crs will throw another spanner in the works when it comes to game 3. We still don't quite know what to expect after. You know, game number 1 was a real different game, I think we should call it. Obviously, with the players switching roles, and hopefully another good game, because, you know, third game is a third game. It's almost as if what happened till this point now you can forget about, and it's all down to this one single game as to who finishes third.
But of course, they have the information from what just happened in the back of their heads. They know how the players performed comparatively. They know who they need to ban against. So, Joe, I think we're going to go cut away to a quick trailer in just a second, but I am absolutely excited for this. I would not put any money down on either team. This could go either way, absolutely.
We'll see you soon for the third and final game between Crs and SK.